Right, today we're going to be cooking Kotlet Schabowy, and I apologise if I've butchered that pronunciation, but it's the best I can get, and I've been practicing all afternoon. Anyway, I tell you what, look at it. It's just absolutely magnificent and a very simple and quick dish to do. So come on, let's get cooking. Hello there. Now let's get through these ingredients, and also can I apologise in advance. We are making Kotlet Schabowy, which is a Polish dish comprised of a very thin slither of pork, schnitzel style, in flour, egg, breadcrumbs, served primarily with baby potatoes, butter and fresh herbs. Also, very popular, serve it with a sauerkraut or a cabbage dish as well. The thing about Polish food is that it's very hearty, it's very filling, it's very subtle. It doesn't hit you over the head with heavy spices. And they're very, very into their meats. There are Polish dishes that have multiple meats in it. Hopefully we're going to discover more about Poland and their delicious food by first starting with this meal that you can have as many challenges as you like, as I did, trying to pronounce it. Kotlet Schabowy. Okay, let's go. Okay, before we do anything, let's season our meat. Just rinse my hands clear. Rightio. So, a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. Now I've got my grinder set to super fine, and that's an excellent setting for this dish. And then just do the other side the same, and then we'll come back to our breading station. And miraculously we are here now at the breading station, I call it. So take your piece of schnitzel into the flour, well covered. Be very attentive, because I shall say this on there once. There we are. Basically, whatever you get covered in flour will get covered in egg. If you miss a bit with the flour, then the egg's not going to bind to it. Alright? There we go. Oh, created a bit of a pocket there. Lovely. And then into the breadcrumbs like that. Put flour all over my... Anyway, let's just keep going. Let's focus, John. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook the schnitzel part of the meal, or the kotlet, first. And then I'm just going to put that in the oven and keep it warm for the 5 or 7 minutes it's going to take to cook the baby potatoes, because they're very small. Let's have a look, see, very tiny potatoes. I think I put 6 per serving, but probably going to end up with 8 because they look delicious. Right, so that's how you do that. I'll get the 3 ready and then we'll cook them. Now, just a wee note here in the recipe, I have said you can use as a substitute beef or chicken, which is fine. Veal as well, if that's your bag, and I guess venison too. But if you want to keep it traditional, then stick with the pork. That's what I'm saying. Okay, we're going to put our potatoes on in about 5 minutes once we're into cooking the meat. But that's going to take some time as well. So I'll come back and next we'll be cooking the meat. Okay, firstly the oil. You want enough to coat the entire bottom of the pan. Yeah, that's to make sure the meat doesn't stick. And you want it on a medium heat. Rightio, the potatoes are already on. I've got a tray here that I've lined with parchment paper, and oops, there. Once the meat is cooked, I'll put it in there and then in the oven. Ooh, that is the correct sound. Sizzling away, but not rapidly. They'll need, at the very most, I would say about 3 or 4 minutes each side, so I'll come back when I flip them. Now you can tell when these are ready to flip. You see these edges here are getting quite brown, which will mean that the underside has got quite brown also. And we're about 2.5–3 minutes in. I want it to be crispy, obviously, but I don't want it to be burnt. I think we're just about there now, starting to lift up. Okay, we're gonna turn it now. There you are. It's about right actually. If I'd kept it going longer, I think I might have got maybe a different result. So we're going to give that 3 minutes now. When you flip them, the second side, it always takes less time to cook. Alright, remember that. Mainly because the pan isn't getting shocked by something cold. It's got something in there that's already super hot, so it doesn't need to get any hotter in order to cook. Okay, here's our last one. Just look how golden brown that is. I'm going to really enjoy this meal. Now you can, if you want, put gravy on it as well, but for now I'm just going to stick with the traditional. And then maybe a bit later on we'll try this meal with gravy on also. Right, now we've got our fresh thyme. Grab the, where the flour normally starts to form up the thyme, and then slowly pull the leaves off. Gosh, the aroma. Whoo-hoo. I'll see if I remember. I'll take a shot of my thyme plant outside for you. Okay, here is my thyme plant outside. As you can see, it's quite big, but it needs very little maintenance, just a bit of water and some plant food every now and again. Now, the best way of doing this, which is your sort of garnish for your potatoes, is to take your 2 tablespoons of butter, put in a mug like that, and then put it in the microwave until it is molten. Once it's molten, about 30 seconds, put your thyme in there. Alright. And we're now just waiting for those potatoes to cook. Right, are the potatoes ready, I hear you ask? So I've taken, not the smallest, not the biggest, out about 5 minutes ago. God, it's still hot. Oh, that's sliced through there very easily, so I'm going to call it. I'm going to say potatoes are ready, into the colander they go, and let's serve. Okay, let's start with a couple of pieces of our crumb schnitzel. I've decided because they're so small I'm going to have two. Now let's put some potatoes on here. There we are. Big enough. And let's get our butter and herbs. Beautiful. It's about time. Anyway, a little grind salt. And because I'm very into my black pepper, especially when it's finely ground, it's a very aromatic and beautiful flavour. And there it is. There is, I can't remember how to say it now, but there it is. It's so hard, I really apologise, I really do, but it is so hard to pronounce, particularly Polish and Scandinavian words are very, very difficult for us. But there you go, it just looks magnificent. I think if you served that up in any restaurant, it'd blow people away. Now when you go on the internet, if you look for this recipe or traditional recipes like it, there's quite a bit of variation. Quite a few people do it differently. Mashed potatoes is one of them. But there is one channel, Steve Marsh. He has a young lady called Alicia who travels with him often, and they often go to Poland and have lunch and dinner, and looking at the sorts of meals in Polish restaurants, I can say that this is very much on point in terms of Polish food. But we're going to delve more into Polish food in the next coming weeks. So hopefully you'll subscribe and you'll catch the next installment. Very exciting. Okay, catch you on the next recipe.